Hello, Jen here. Merry Christmas in October. Only a couple more months left until Christmas. That's super exciting. I hope you guys are doing well. We've actually had 7 full days of snow here. Well, I shouldn't say that. It hasn't snowed today yet, but it has been snowing a lot, so it's definitely putting me in the Christmas spirit, and I decided to go ahead and pull out my Comfort and Joy collection from Jennifer Smith and Close to My Heart. Jennifer sent this to me, and I absolutely adore it. It's just a really nice, clean, classic Christmas collection, and yeah, I've been really enjoying it. So all of Jennifer's links are down below if you want to go and check out what Close to My Heart has and find tons and tons of inspiration on all of her Facebook and her Instagram and stuff like that. Please do. I also am pairing it with this sketch, and originally I had been going through Pinterest looking for sketches that kind of inspire you to use a lot of patterns, because I really love all of the colors and the patterns in this paper in the Halloween collection that I got, and I just really wanted to find some ways to kind of showcase those patterns. So I found this sketch. I love that it's the 4 different patterns that you can put together as your background, and so when you have these papers that you really love and you don't necessarily want to cut them all apart and kind of lose some of that pattern, this I thought was a really good one. And then it turns out it's also part of Christy's 30 Days of Sketches for this month, and it just happens to be tomorrow's sketch. So I'm a day off, but I thought, okay, I'm going to go ahead and pick this one because it works out perfectly that I can kind of play along with that series and also get to use this sketch. So to cut out my triangles, I'm doing, the classic Jenn. I'm kind of eyeballing it. I basically just folded the paper into the diagonal and then cut along that line. I'm okay if they didn't kind of meet up properly, or if I had to, fill in a little bit of space or whatever might have happened. And it just made more sense to me than trying to get it to fit into my paper trimmer. The one paper I used both sides, that plaid has the poinsettias on the other side, so I just cut that straight in half and then cut that triangle in half again. And then for the other two, you can see I just cut the size that I needed, or the triangle that I needed, and tried to leave the rest of the paper whole so that I can use it somewhere else, like matting my photo. But there's lots of different things you could do. If you had a ruler, you could go ahead and just use a craft knife or something like that and cut along the diagonal, or if your paper trimmer does fit that diagonal, you could do that too. This was just whatever's easier for me, and in the end they do all fit nicely together, so there's no gaps or anything. So once you get them down onto the paper, you're usually good to go. Plus that center, if for some reason all of your little triangles didn't quite meet in the middle, the photo is covering it. I think it would look really good too if you tore the papers so there actually was a bit of a gap in between each one and just kind of ruffled up those edges and distressed them a little bit. I am going for more of a clean look just because the family photo was kind of clean, and all of my edges did work together, but you could definitely play around with that and make it fun. Do some mixed media in the background if you wanted, and make those triangles a little bit smaller so some of that pops out, or you could sew across the edges so that they all came together nicely. There's lots of different ways that you could do it. So I went ahead and matted my photo with just a really small mat. That's the back of one of the papers. It's kind of a white with gold or cream colored lines going across it. And I did think at first that I wanted to do a big, nice border. I kind of like the way that the mat is in the sketch, and it really did kind of say Christmas to me, that you could maybe do some holly around the edges, or like this border strip that I have here. I thought that would look really good, but I only had that one little chunk and I couldn't find anything else that really looked right, so I just left it with that smaller mat. But I definitely think that this picture could have taken a larger kind of border that had some detail to it. So definitely that would have helped create a little bit of extra weight with the picture. But because I'm going to keep my embellishment fairly simple, I think that helps to kind of keep your eye where the picture is. And I'm going to add that Merry Little Christmas as my title, and so that kind of draws your eye in too. So once I pulled out those poinsettias from the sticker sheet, that's also from the Comfort and Joy that came with the papers. And then I also pulled the little tiny circles, their gold foil and their little bows. I kind of scattered those along the diagonal as well. And then I just went into my stash of little stickers, and I'm just pulling out a few extra little details. So those round circles, they're kind of a vellum sticker. Those come from Stampin' Up, and they're also gold foil, and they have little Christmas trees on them. So I have 2 of those in there. I only had 2 left, so I figured I might as well throw them in. They kind of add a different texture. And then I also have some of these Simple Stories stickers that I can't remember the collection that they're from, but I think it's something to do with comfort as well. So I just had a few of the little dots that I thought worked good, and so I was able to use some green ones down more on that red paper and some red ones up on that green paper to kind of spread the color out a little bit more. And I added a little gold foil phrase to each of the clusters on the biggest poinsettia. I added the word Merry and the word Magic from a sticker sheet that I got, I think, at Dollar Tree. And then let's see, what else did I add? I added some red foil stickers also from Stampin' Up. They're just little hearts that were at the bottom of the countdown sheet, so the number sheet that you get. I think that is from one of the Project Life kits that they do. They might still do them, I don't know, but this is probably from like 2014, 2015, somewhere in there. And it's just all of the numbers if you're doing your December daily, and then they had those little hearts down at the bottom. And I added some enamel dots also from Stampin' Up. So lots of Stampin' Up in here too. I just like to pull from what I have in my stash. You can see all those iris containers that are piled up beside me are different little Christmas embellishments that I keep in my Christmas kit. So just lots of fun little details, but nothing too big that's competing for your eye. And then to finish it off, I splattered with some Heidi Swapp Color Shine in gold. And that's it. That's my layout for this Christmas in October. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please follow the links down below for everybody else who's celebrating today. And also you will find Jenn's links to Close to My Heart. Until next time, Merry Christmas, Happy Scrapping. Bye!